diamonds, all things diamond painting. Square around, I'm glad you are around. Grab your plate, grab your wax, get ready to sit back and relax. Don't see you're single, whatever your niche. Here is your host, a guy named Rich.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Happy Sunday. I have dressed up for the occasion in my Bucksito. I got the Buc-ee's t-shirt and the Buc-ee's bow tie, Halloween bow tie. Dressed up special for y'all since missed last week, traveling back from the retreat, and I thought, what the heck, I'll spruce it up a little bit here. I don't know what this is. It's like, it has this thing. I don't know if it's for dogs or if it's, I don't know. It's not stretchy or nothing. I don't know, but it's a little warm, so I'm going to put it over there. So let's see who is here today. Hello. Hey, Christopher, welcome on in. Matt, Christopher and Matt, I think we need to do a video or a live together, like Men of Diamond Painting. What do you think? Just putting it out there. Hello, Asia Rios. Nice to meet you at the retreat. Asia was there. Carol, hello. Welcome on in. Francis, hello. Hi, Doretta. Doretta won in the Witch event on Friday night, so congratulations. Hi, Tracy, welcome on in. Christine, hello. Michelle Morris Campbell, hello. Hey, Mudnut, welcome on in. The Real Men of Diamond Painting, exactly. The Real Men of Diamond Painting. We could do a commercial. I don't know, I'm spitballing here. Jen M, aka Cat J Bell, welcome on in. Hope everyone is doing well this Sunday afternoon. It is a beautiful day here in Chicagoland. It is 82 degrees outside, and I've discovered something as I've gotten older, and having lost a good amount of weight, and also I have thyroid issues. I am very cold when it's in the 60s. I'm freezing. And this morning I was freezing, but now I have the windows open at 82 and it's absolutely beautiful and I'm fine with it. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what happens come winter, because I don't think I'm going to survive it, to be honest with you. I may freeze to death. I don't know. Hi, Momo. Welcome on in. Watch the replay. Absolutely. Hey, Nancy. Hello. Welcome on in. Nancy, you missed my Bucksito. I had my Buc-ee's bow tie, and I got my Buc-ee's t-shirt. I dressed up for the event. Warm is good for your bones. I think there's benefits to both. Like, don't they say that cold, like, I don't know, more things get dead in the cold, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just don't know. Let's see. Hi, Tammy. Welcome on in. Tammy's very busy these days, so she's scooched in here at the last minute. Tammy, I have your package of Buc-ee stuff ready to come, ready to go out. So we'll talk about the retreat in just a couple minutes, but let's see. Nancy, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Tammy, I don't know if you saw my Bucksito. I had a Buc-ee's. It's a Halloween. See, there's Buc-ee. And then I have my Buc-ee t-shirt on. So I had a whole thing. Tracy, how did Sammy do when you were away? He did really well. He he hangs out with his two friends over there next door. And my neighbor's trying to get used to watching him after, like she watched him when I went to Ohio, but that was the first time in a couple years. And his hearing and his eyesight has gotten worse. So she's trying to adjust to that a little bit. But, what I got home and I went over there and I went in and her dogs were saying hi and stuff. And my neighbor's standing in the hallway, like looking down, and she's like, look who's here, look who's here. And I walk over and Sammy's just looking at her like, I can't hear you. And then he looks over and he's like, oh, hi. And then he like walked away, which is typical. And so she said he did really well, got all his meds and stuff like that. The hair is growing in really good on his back now. And I think we found a good medicine for the problem. It's not really medicine, it's over the counter, but he was having some skin issues and they seem to have resolved. And as we're sitting there talking, he all of a sudden gets really excited and he jumps up on her couch next to her. And then he jumps off, maybe thinking he was at home and the couch is different. So next thing I know, I hear a whack on the hardwood floor and he falls on his head and rolls over onto his belly. So I'm like, great, I've been home 5 minutes and I have to go to the doggy ER. But I picked him up and was checking him out, and he definitely was doing the cartoon birds and stars going around, but he quickly snapped out of it and he's like, I want to get down. And then he went on his way and was sniffing around and sort of fussing with the other dogs a little bit. So, but he's doing so well. We go to the specialty vet on Friday. So I'm looking forward to getting his test results because I want to see how everything is doing. But as far as I think everything is doing well because he's acting fine. The hair's growing back, so I think his thyroid's under control. So I'm just looking forward to a good report, or at least if they have something, then let's address it, right? Let's see. Tammy says she's excited to see my package. Yes. So, So Berta and I did some shopping, some serious damage at Buc-ee's, and we saw a couple things that were like, oh, Tammy would like this. So we picked up Tammy some stuff. Yes, Tracy, it is good. I'm glad. Let's see. Hi, Melanie. Hello. Hi, Sir Ann. Welcome on in. Tammy will love your Buc-ee stuff, says Nancy. I mean, what is there not to love about Buc-ee stuff? I actually, there's 3 things in the box. The 2 things are, Berta and I both saw them and we're like, Tammy. And I says, all right, you get one, I'll get one. And then the third thing was sort of, Berta showed it to me for me as a joke. And I'm like, actually, no, I could use those. Then I don't really need them, because things worked out. I'll explain more later. So I'm going to give them to you because you definitely can use them. And, well, more to come. Nancy, was your bag under the 50 pounds? So, all right. So let's talk about this, folks. So this is my second retreat. Okay. So I sort of know what needs to be taken and stuff like that. So I packed my suitcase and I don't know what it is that I'm like, I don't want to pay for luggage for checking a bag. I don't want to do that. And I don't know why. Ultimately, is it that big of a deal? Is it, part of me, okay, I was flying Southwest because I had points, and they pissed me off with all of their changes. That is just not the same airline that it used to be, right? So now they charge you for checked bags, but I have the Southwest credit card, so I get one free bag. So that's all I am checking is one bag. So I have one bag and a backpack. So I'm packing stuff, minimal clothing, just shorts, t-shirts, a pair of jeans, a muumuu, a sparkly shirt, and a DOP kit, socks, underwear, you know, the basics. And the other side of my suitcase, I had all my diamond painting stuff, my light pad, my drills, my canvas, what have you. So I had that side full, and then I was bringing stuff like I brought some candy and brought some other stuff that I had stuffed into the suitcase. So before I leave, I get out my suitcase weigher. You hook it around the handle, you hold it up, and it told me it was like 49 pounds. Okay, good. I'm good to go. So I don't know what happened between here and the airport, but my bag gained 4 or 5 pounds. I don't know how that happened. So of course, she says, well, you know, you can make the adjustment right here, you know, open your bag and make the adjustment. And I looked at her, I says, I'm not digging through. How much is it? She goes, $100. I go, okay, hold on. So I unlock the suitcase. I'm in there. The first thing I see is my DOP kit. So I grab that out, zip it up, reweigh it. It's now under the 50 pounds. Fine. So I stuff my DOP kit into my backpack and whatever. So then we get to the retreat, and what I realized is I should have grabbed the bag of candy, because that bag of candy was quite heavy. It was Werther's, and it was coffee candy and some other stuff. Should have grabbed that. Because what I didn't realize is in my DOP kit, I got lazy and I threw a bottle of body wash in there. That was over the 4 ounces. So I had to toss that. So at the retreat, offloaded the candy, this, that, the other thing. Well, then Berta brought me 2 canvases that she was gifting me. So that was 2 canvases there. Then Melanie found on Kara, the principal painter, she was selling some paintings, and she found one. Like I've been collecting the drink dragons from Stanley Morrison, and she found the garlic dragon, and we'd been talking about the food dragon. So she's like, here, I found this if you want it, you know. So I had that one. And then there was one on the D-stash table that was a unicorn of diamond cat, diamond dust, sparkle dust. I forget the name exactly, but so now I have 4 paintings to put into my suitcase. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be overweight. How am I going to do this? And I said, screw it. I'm just going to pay the money. I'm just going to pay the money. I don't want to stress about it. I get very stressful, or I get very stressed out when I fly. Not really because over flying. I just get stressed out. As a bigger guy, like, hey, is the seatbelt going to fit? And the seatbelt fit on the way down there, but then it didn't fit on the way back. But it was also new seats versus old seats. And what I didn't know, like I always felt bad that, oh, this doesn't fit. When the seatbelt mechanism breaks, they just cut the seatbelt and attach a new mechanism. So a seatbelt that fits suddenly doesn't fit over time. So even the thinnest person, if you get the wrong seat, it's not going to fit. So I get to the airport, and I check my bag, and it was 50.5 pounds. So now I'm wondering, how the hell did my suitcase now take in more stuff but it weighs less than it did. And thankfully, the lady let it go through, and which was nice. But yeah, so it was somewhat under the 50 pounds, I guess, for their criteria, if you will. So let's see if anyone else came in. Hi, Cindy, welcome on in. So I love those dragons. I love anything with teacup or drink glasses. Yes, I love the drink dragons because of my mixology background, if you will. Your suitcase must have found Jesus because there's no way it was legal. It was. I didn't even do the thing with my foot to hold the scale up or anything. Hey, Crashly, welcome on in. So let's talk about the retreat. And if any of you have never been to a retreat and you have questions, put them in the chat here, because there's people who are at the retreat and definitely can get some answers for you. But so the retreat was in Texas, my first time in Texas. And Texas seriously is its own country. It's his own. Wait, what, the thing with your foot? You know, like, here's the scale and you put your foot like this, take like a pound or two off of it. Hello? That's what we do in Chicago. I don't know. Maybe you're too pure. That's what it is. So Texas is truly its own place. I was warned about the drivers, but I found the drivers to be overly cautious and overly friendly. Everybody was friendly. So that was fine. Let's see, the first night we stayed right outside of San Antonio well, first of all, let me tell you, I rented a car. And I met Berta at the airport. I met her. She was at the baggage claim and recognized her right away because she had the suitcase that last time I was schlepping around to Ohio that was over 80 pounds. So met her, got my baggage, then went to the car counter. And it was very weird. And typically when I travel, I don't rent cars a lot because usually I'm cruising or Ubering, right? So I go and I'm looking for a budget rent-a-car, right? And it's like there's two big long counters and it's budget Avis, this and this. Come to find out they're all one company. So I'm like, why don't you just merge then? Like, call yourself the same thing. Anyway, so I go up there. Lady was very nice. And she says to me, all right, I had rented like a mid-level SUV. She said, do you want the gas service so that you can return it on empty? And I thought to myself, that's where you're going to get me with the cost. Anything that I saved, I booked it using my corporate discount code. I'm like that. I'm going to lose anything I got on the discount. And I says, all right, well, how much is gas? So she turns around, she comes back, she goes, $2.89. I go, oh, book it. Because I don't know about y'all, $2.89 is cheap. It's over $3, consistently over $3 here in Chicago. $3.25, $3.19. I think I saw it the last time. So I was totally in for it. I'm like, good, I don't need to stop at the gas station. So then we have to go up to the third floor of the parking garage. So we get up there. Berta's following along. I have all my stuff. She has all her stuff. I go to slot B16 or wherever I'm supposed to be. There's no car. Okay. So I look at the one next to it, and it's I was supposed to pick up a Ford Explorer, and this was a Ford Expedition. I checked the number, it wasn't the same. I'm like, hold on, Bert, I'll be back. Go all the way back down. Hi, there's nothing in that spot. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. She's really nice about it. And she says, you know what? I'm out of that. So I'm that class. I'm going to give you a higher class, a bigger SUV. Okay. Oh, I'm going to give you a brand new Kia Telluride or something. Okay, fine. Well, I said, is it normal that you go upstairs and there's no car? Like, is that like what's going on here? And she goes, oh, she explained that there's another desk and they may have given it away and what have you. That at the same time she was working on it. So I thought that was interesting. So went back up, got the car, got to the hotel, waited for Berta to get checked in because she booked under a fake name. I'm pretty sure. No, there's a mess up with her reservation. I went. I met Melanie and met Nancy for the first time at the Berta. So we hung out in the conference room. They were having like a little night before thing. And then I was just tired, went to sleep. Next day got up and Berta and I took our time. And there was a mix up, like, were we going to go to Nancy's house or were we meeting for them for lunch? So we were going to the restaurant. They were waiting at the house. So we get to the restaurant and they're like, oh, well, why don't you go to Buc-ee's because it's going to take us about half an hour to get there. So that's when Berta and I went did some damage at Buc-ee's. That place is insane. It is absolutely insane. There's nothing like that needs to exist on this earth. However, there were condos that looked relatively new and they looked like they're just, still selling them really close to the Buc-ee's. So then I was considering buying a condo so I could just walk to Buc-ee's because they had the brisket in the center smelled so good. The pulled pork that they were cooking smelled so good. They had all the beer and alcohol that you could want, which was sort of shocking to me because ultimately I'm at a gas station and they have all the beer and wine and everything that you need. And that you usually don't see that at a gas station, at least up here. And then they had the baked goods and it was crazy. So we were going through this whole thing. So then we went to meet Nancy and Mel at the restaurant a little bit later. Melanie says it's $4.79 a gallon here. Yes. And before Berta starts spreading rumors, so we're driving. I think this was on our way to Buc-ee's. We're driving and I got the GPS in the truck working. So listening to the GPS tell me, go here, go here. Well, it's showing me that the next exit, I'm going to take a left. So in my mind, the exit's going to be on the left because while that doesn't happen often, there's a lot of exits on the left here, especially going into the city. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get to the left hand lane. So I move over and we're passing a truck. And as soon as I can see now around the truck, there's our exit. So I called upon my defensive driving knowledge and expertise that they teach you when you're in driver's ed, and pulled it. I made the exit just fine. No one beeped at me, nothing. We didn't tip over, nothing. And Berta seems to think that was unsafe driving, and I just think it was defensive reactionary driving, and we got where we needed to be. So, but anyway, so that's what happened, so that she cannot spread rumors, because I know that she still talks about, and I think it was Debbie Rice, she put a message somewhere. She goes, oh, she still blames me. I tried to kill her at some retreat. And I go, yeah, your name came up, because Berta's like, oh my God, you and Debbie both trying to kill me. Anyway, let's see. So we went to this place called Black's. They had some of the best barbecue I've ever had. And then we got to the retreat center. Catching up on comments here. Rich has joined the Church of Bucky's Baptism by Jerky Wall. That jerky wall, it is amazing. And there were 2 jerky walls, one on by either entrance. They were the same, so it wasn't like they had additional types of jerky. But what I didn't know, and had I known, this would have been a much more expensive trip. Coming back from the other side of Bucky's, walking through the center, I'm looking at where they're doing the pulled pork and the brisket and stuff, and they had like a deli counter. And I look, and they have all the jerky that you could buy by the pound. And in the bags that you buy, it's like little pieces of jerky. These were like slabs of jerky. If I'd known that, I would have been in trouble. And I almost went up to say, give me one of everything that I have in the bags to put the bags back. But anyway, yeah, most places discourage drinking and driving, except there was a drive-through margarita place. Was that, or drive-through daiquiri? There's a drive-through alcohol place, which wasn't super shocking to me because in Florida, at least in the Keys, they used to, I think they may still have a drive-through liquor store. So you take that for what it's worth. But Texas is really its own place. My sister used to be a driver's ed teacher. Let's ask her if she teach what she would. I have no problem. I think I did that in the simulators, and it said good job. So yeah. Doretta says, you missed your calling. I'm laughing my tush off. Well, it gets better. Berta, my head is still impression of your left shoulder. Just saying. It would be my right shoulder because you were on my right. So see, Berta, you don't even know the story. It's like you weren't even there. Tammy says, we have drive-through liquor stores. So maybe it's a southern thing. Oh, here's Sarah Ann. We have drive-through liquor stores here. Okay. So we get to the retreat center and figuring out the lay of the land. Really nice place. Little apartments, condo things. There were 4 in a building, and had each one seemed to have 2 bedrooms, like a dining, living room, kitchen, washer and dryer, 2 bathrooms. Ours had a fireplace. Ours had a little loft that you could go up the smallest spiral staircase to get up to. And I saw Shay did her, she had her Patreon video. She had a little ladder in hers. And I thought, I want to go see what's up there. But all I pictured was myself getting wedged into this spiral staircase and not being able to get out and having to call 911 to have the jaws of life come and pry me out of this thing. So I didn't go up there. But got settled in. And I think I laid down for a couple of minutes and whatnot and got my stuff together and then walked over to the crafting room, which was in the lodge, which was only, it was not far whatsoever. What was difficult was dragging my suitcase up the very rickety staircase to the 2nd floor. That was a little weird, and I really contemplated dropping it off the deck when I was leaving, just because it was going to take me down with it. But I made it down when we left. So get into the lodge place. There was a little, outside of the room area, but you're inside and saying hi to some folks and whatnot and hanging out. So when the craft room opened, this one was sort of nice that they allowed people to purchase tables, which was sort of nice because when I was at GLE, it was like it was Hunger Games. You ran in and you had to get the lay of the land, and then you had to go get the table that you wanted. And at the same time, you were like with everybody that you wanted to sit with, trying to get enough spaces. Here, everybody had their assigned tables, and you could buy a table, which means you could pre-seat your people, or they just sat people wherever they wanted to seat them, but they had a pre-arranged. So that was cool. So got in, set up, met people, whatnot. Let's see, the first night I didn't have dinner because we had just eaten at Black's, and I was still very full. And so we were hanging out, and yeah, that bird just flew by your face. I don't know what bird you're talking about. Tammy, go watch Shay's video. Yes, she shows the room. I didn't spend a lot of time in the room. Take that for what it's worth. I didn't spend a lot of time in the room. So just so happened that at least I sort of got my second wind at some point, and Melanie seemed to as well. We stayed up all night. And let's see, the maintenance guy or the security guard, someone checked in at 3 a.m. He thought we left the lights on, and we're like, hi. And then some guy walked in at 5 o'clock, and he's like, oh, good morning. And we're like, oh, hi. And he's like, yeah, I'm just getting to work. You guys are early. And we're like, actually, we're sort of late. And then shortly thereafter, people started showing up and whatnot. So I got to meet Shay. That was fun. I got to meet Joe Atwood. There's Joe. Hello, Joe. Who promptly scolded me for not having my Traeger grill yet. Kidding, Joe. But it was great meeting her as well. Let's see who was at the table. So it was me, Melanie, Shay, Joe, Nancy. It was was Melinda, Berta, and Cheryl from DP with Sparklers. So we're sitting there, we're kibitzing, and at some point I got up and I went back to the room and I showered and, sort of splashing cold water in my face, and got up and went back. And, it was so nice. They had everything themed so nice, but also subtle, like somewhat subtle. Like the theme was Golden Girls, so everything you got had a Golden Girls, something to do with Golden Girls. So one of the things we got was this pop-up like garbage can, I guess, that you can put in your car, something, and you can fold it down when you're not using it. Okay, practical, great, fine. What does that have to do with the Golden Girl? Well, they themed it with Blanche, her quote, "Eat dirt and die, trash," which I happen to have the T-shirt that I was wearing on the first day. So it was really nice. All the stuff that they had was, here's some sleep mask or something. Go to sleep, sweetheart. Pray for brains. That was Dorothy talking to Rose. It was a multidisciplinary event. So there were I shouldn't say non-diamond painting, people who worked on other things at the retreat other than diamond painting. So I think there was like a crocheter and a cross stitcher. So like we got some yarn and some cross stitch patterns, which has me now back in the, maybe I want to cross stitch. We also got this little fan, which come in handy. This was Rose saying, in Florida, who can tell a hot flash from a weather front? Ha 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 ha. So yeah, the first night I almost did leave. They started the announcements, welcoming everybody, giving here's where things are and here's how we're going to do stuff. And then the Marissa, who organized the retreat, said, oh, and by the way, it is copperhead snake mating season. which makes them a little bit more aggressive than normal. And they are one of the most venomous snakes in the continental US, I guess. And the babies, they don't know how to regulate their venom. So if they latch onto you, they're going to pump all their venom, as opposed to just here's all you need, and then scuttle off. I don't like snakes. I don't like snakes at all. I took very little comfort in the fact that they gave us, with our name tags, with my little first time retreat attendee, they gave us these little flashlights so that we can, on our way back to our rooms. That did not give me a lot of comfort. So I almost left then. But then Shay came in and said she talked to the bartender, and he says there's no snakes around there. But still, all I know is by day 3, I was digging in foliage where the snakes could be to find these little itty bitty, what is this? A flamingo that they hid 200 of these around the property, everywhere, as they said it, everywhere but in your room. And whoever collected the most would win a prize. So at first, I was just like, I was like, I'm not going around. There's snakes, whatever. Well, then I happened to be sitting next to the dessert platter for one meal. And anytime someone came up to get a cookie, I asked them for $5. And one of the committee members had come up that organized it, and she goes to get a cookie. I said, it's $5. And she just looks at me, she reaches in her pocket, and she gives me a flamingo. So now I'm like, well, I have a flamingo. I'm started. I might as well, Well, they were periodically putting them out throughout the whole retreat. So sure enough, I go to walk into the craft room, and there's one sitting right there. And I'm like, all right, this isn't an accident. They put more out. So then I found more in the plants. I found them on the door, the signs to the bathroom, window sills, all this good stuff. So then I'm outside, finding them all over the deck. And then I'm walking around the pool, and then I'm literally in these like yucca plants or something. Anybody in here? And, a snake could have come out right in my face, but luckily they didn't. But it was because I wanted the damn flamingos. Turns out I had the third most. So I did get a little stuffed flamingo, but I did not win the prize, the big prize. That person had 40 some odd. So yeah, so that was interesting. Let's see. I hate the Hunger Games thing. Yes. I love that buy a table deal. Yes. And I believe the money went towards St. Jude, didn't it? So they do fundraising for St. Jude. And you were able to, I think the money from the tables went there. You were able to make straight up contributions, or they were doing like raffles, so you can get raffle tickets for a quilt that someone had made. And I happened to, someone made a donation on my behalf. So there was this lady who, in the chat, once you get into the retreat, you're part of this group chat. So one day these people are talking about a Lowry stand, and if anyone doesn't know what that is, it's a stand for when you're cross stitching. It sits on the floor and it has a big metal base, so you can stick the base under your chair or weigh it down somehow. And it comes up tight, adjustable, and it has an arm that you can clamp your work to, either whether it's in a Q-snap or a regular wooden circle. You can clap it in there, and you can then stitch, and you don't have to hold your project. And then there's like a magnetic board that holds your pattern, and that's all that I had for it. Well, I hadn't used it in years, So someone was like, oh, I'd really like to try one. I said, hey, if you're interested, I have one. I can send it to you. You could try it out. You could have it, you know. And so sure enough, she contacted me. I got it, everything. I got it out and dusted it off and whatnot, packed it up and charged her for shipping. Okay, it's gone. Good. So she replies when she gets it. She goes, "Oh my gosh, this is like, I love it. I want to use it like every day." She goes, "But I have to give you some money for it." I said, "I don't want any money for it." She goes, "Okay, I'm gonna make a donation to St. Jude in your name." So that was very nice. So yeah. Tammy says, we were actually signed our table at GLE, which happened to be in the cellar, if that tells anybody anything. We sort of were, because Tammy was there. We wanted to make sure that she had room for her chair, and that, you know, if you're at tables that butt up against each other, the chairs, that could have gotten a little. So thank you, Tammy. But we weren't officially assigned. Anybody could have sat there. And Crashly had sort of given us the lay of the room, told us where to go. Let's see. You owe me an all-nighter. Mel already stayed up all night with me. Well, Tammy, you get me on a night that I don't have to get up for work, and I get a second win. I'm happy to do that. Thank God he finally showered. Ha ha ha, Berta. Shay said I smelled good. So I don't know what you're talking about. Bluetooth mask has the mask has Bluetooth earphones in it. I'm gonna have to check that out. Chris, is it stitches are for biatches? Stitches are for bitches, isn't it? I don't know. I would have left when they mentioned snakes. Yeah, I didn't care for that. Well, we know why you stayed up the first night. Because of the snakes? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Just a tiny flashlight, just enough to piss off the snake. Exactly. Nancy says she went for a walk outside yesterday during the morning and saw a coral snake on the sidewalk. Good thing I was paying attention. Those are very dangerous because Nancy lives in Texas. Rattlesnakes are the same way. The babies are more dangerous than the adults, says Sarah Ann. Yeah, I don't know how y'all. So, moral of the story with the snakes is I'm not moving to the condo next to the Buc-ee's. Matter of fact, news broke that Buc-ee's just purchased a plot of land. Forgot the name of it, but it's in Wisconsin and it's right over the border. So 45 minutes, hour away. I can go get my beaver nuggets and can try the I asked a friend, so most of my team works or lives and works up in Milwaukee. And I was talking to the one of the people that work for me, and I said, "Did you see that they're opening up a Buc-ee's?" She goes, "Oh yeah," because we're talking about how she always stops there when she goes on road trips and yada yada yada. I said, "Now let me ask you a question. In Texas, they're making brisket and pulled pork. Are they going to make brisket and pulled pork in Wisconsin, or are they going to make bratwurst and like cheese something? Like, do they go by the region, or is it just this is what we do at Buc-ee's?" I hope it's the brisket and stuff, because bratwurst and stuff like that, there's enough of that around here. It'd be nice to have a good little something. But yeah, I don't know that I could live anywhere that there were like really bad snakes. I don't like that. Rich being a hussy at the cookie platter. Damn right. I need some money. Sarah Ann says I'm working on a cross stitch right now. So it did ignite a little interest in me. So let me see. The first thing I saw was, actually I put it in. Sarah Ann, I put it in one of your bags. I brought this one with me. But they have this little square piece, and it has beads on it. And I have never done beaded cross stitch. So I took that out and I thought, I'm just going to try it and see what I can do with that. And then they had this cute pattern for a pillow, that says, thank you for being a Stitchy friend. Because get it, Golden Girls, thank you for being a friend. And they just put Stitchy in there. So I was looking at this, and I'm going to change it up a little bit, and I'm going to do it as a present for someone. And so I was trying to think, I'm like, okay, I need Ada or something. Well, then Melanie won some even weave, and she wasn't going to use it, so she gave it to me. I've never cross-stitched on even weave. And the holes are even smaller than in Ada, so I hope that I can see them. But I'm going to try this and make a little gift for someone. So it did sort of, and some of the pieces that the people were working on, just absolutely incredible. Diamond paintings, incredible. I mean, that part of the real benefit of going to the retreats is seeing other people's work and talking to them about how they do things. What do they use? Oh, you use those. How do you like, it's really cool. The GLE, I met Sharon Rodriguez, who actually lives here in Illinois, and she was working on Garwin, that big, I think it's a Richter, Sarah Richter dragon, the big green dragon. And when I had saw it, I'm like, that's a lot of green. I don't know if I want to do that. Then I saw it in person, and it was like half done. I'm like, add it to my wish list. And then when it came back in stock, I had to grab it. But you can check out all the folks, what they're working on and stuff like that. But then, of course, you get to meet people, right? And chat with folks. Let's see. Shay Delirious. Yeah, Shay is exactly what you see on her lives and stuff like that. That is Shay. Joe, I'm aware I live in Texas. The heat was a good clue. Ironically, I found I didn't find it very hot. I don't think it was very hot the whole time we were there. I'm sure it gets hotter, but it was actually sort of nice. Hey, Eve, welcome on in. She's alive and well in Great Falls, Montana. Freezing her took us off. So Eve is not only she's at a conference for her work, but she is being an ambassador for the diamond painting community because she is holding a class on how to diamond paint and talking about the mental health benefits and whatnot. And so I know she's been gathering toolkits and whatnot. She went over and up with a list of channels of, here's some people to check out if you want to learn more and stuff like that. So thank you, Eve, for bringing our passion to other folks, and I hope your class goes well. Okay, Sarah says it's just what they do at Buc-ee's. They have brisket and pulled pork here too. Good. Because quite honestly, the Brat Stop, there's a place called the Brat Stop there. They used to be really popular when I was too young, but Illinois' drinking age was 21 and Wisconsin was 18, so everybody would go up to the Brat Stop. So we stopped there and the House of Cheese because it's Wisconsin. Yeah. Crashley says, we found a snake in our living room the other day. Nope, move. Just get out. I can handle spiders and stuff like that, except for in Australia where the spiders are like this big. No, absolutely not. Let's see. No, the snake, cute. Those words do not go together. No, but you know what? I've tried rattlesnake before. Ironically, snake and delicious could go together if you get past the fact that you're eating a snake. Crashly says, I do like snakes. That's wrong. Were those beavers on that cross-stitch kit? No, those were foxes. Fox eye. These were foxes. Did we get anything with beavers on? I don't think there was anything with beavers on. But here's further proof that Texas is its own place. So in our swag bag, we have this box, This is a curated scent collection from Queen Bee Customs. And I opened this, and this one was on top. And Matt, Chris, back me up here. I thought, why are we getting urinal cakes? Like, what's going on? Why are we getting a urinal cake? There's smell. I'm like, why are we getting urinal cakes? These are, they call them freshies. And if you Google freshies, first of all, two things are going to come up. The Wikipedia entry, it's going to say freshies are sort of a Texas thing, basically, paraphrasing. The second thing is going to be an Etsy shop that has a freshie, red, white, and blue in the shape of Texas. So these you're supposed to hang on your mirror, I guess, in your car. It came with a little chain to hang it. There's 3 cents, midnight cheesecake, margaritas at the Rusty Anchor. That was Blanche's favorite bar, an ocean spray on a boardwalk bench. So they're supposed to freshen your car. Now, I think they're a little, to me, they're a little large for the mirror. And they are quite strongly scented. So I opted to hang my 4th one in the bathroom, and it's doing a good job. It's doing a nice job in the bathroom. And my bathroom smells like, I forgot what the scent was, but it's the purple one. And at least I don't think I will put one of the gourmand scents in the bathroom, because that would be sort of weird. Let's see. Yep, that is Shay. Yes, it is. 100%. Let's see. I've only done 2 cross stitches. And that was 8 years ago. I picked this one up on Amazon. Maybe even over my head. That is the best. That is the best way to learn, drive yourself crazy, but then feel the best sense of accomplishment at the end. I will tell you that. Hi, Tink Tink. Welcome on in. New Jersey changed the drinking age to 18 for a few years in the 70s. Drunk driving became a state sport. Yeah, unfortunately, 294, the main expressway up to it, was constantly had accidents. Sometimes there'll be a garden snake in our pool and they get stuck in the strainer. No, couldn't do that. I've only seen 2 snakes here in Arizona. Been here since 94. Sydney loves steaks. Well, you go, sister. You go with your bad self. There was when I was in college, the community college here, I took a class. It was a biology class, and how it worked was you volunteered at. There was a list of places you can volunteer. One was like the wildlife refuge, where people bring like squirrels that fall out of the squirrel babies that fall out of the tree, or cranes that get hit by cars or what have you, and they fix them up and whatnot, and and then they educate people about wildlife and stuff like that. So you can volunteer there. A couple other places in the area. And however many hours you took the class for, that's how many hours you had to volunteer for. So I took it for 5 credit hours. So I volunteered at Cosley Animal Farm, which is in the suburbs here, not too far from me. And they have chickens and cows, and that was pretty much the only 2 animals that were there that weren't somehow rehabilitated or imprinted on humans, so they couldn't live in the wildlife on their own. So I would go out there every Sunday for 5 hours and muck the stalls and feed the goats, and they had a gigantic horse, who is when I found out that I was allergic to horses, when I had to brush him one day, and I could hardly breathe. They had fox. You take care of the fox, the chickens. They had 2 raccoons that were imprinted that you went in and they would play games with you, like they were trying to like get out. They were crafty. They had a whole aviary of like hawks and stuff like that. So one of the jobs was, when you first got there, you went to the aviary, you took a bag of frozen mice out of the freezer, broke them apart as best you could, put them on a tray, and then put them under the radiator. and then you went and did your stuff, and then by the time you came back, they were somewhat defrosted. So then you had to give, this hawk gets 2, these gets 3. They had a great horned owl that used to get a couple of the frozen mice. Well, inside they had a snake. I don't know what kind of snake it was, but I had to feed it. And I'm getting shivers as I'm talking about it. I did it for education and for biology. And, if a snake is not doing anything to me, I don't want him to suffer. So I'm glad you ate, but get me the heck out of here right now. So I've tried. I've really tried. Let's see, Sarah, I need a better way to organize everything, but I don't really want to invest much in something I may not continue. Agree. And actually, I went to get out because one of the things I want to do with that pillow is I want to sort of redo or like do different colors. So I got out. These are Floss by DMC, as well as now this. So that's pretty cheap. A photo box at Michael's is like $5. But then I have this thing from Amazon. This was pretty cheap. But I get you. There's a lot of stuff that comes with it, as with anything, right? And you got to have a way to keep it organized as much as you can. Eve, I got knocked off and came back to urinal cakes. Well, you're caught up then. They aren't urinal cakes, Eve. They're really not. The pink one, come on. Well, ladies, you may not know, but the pink one, come on. That looks like the urinal cake that you aim towards in the urinal. Let's see. Crashly says, I don't mess with horses. Horsey was Melanie's first word. Sarah Ann said, I don't mind snakes. I just want the dangerous ones near me. I just don't know. I got kicked as a kid, so I don't play with them anymore. Okay, everybody. Crashly got kicked by a horse when she was younger. That piece of the puzzle, do you hear it snapping? Right into I think that may have been one of the missing pieces of the Crashly puzzle. Kicked by a horse when she was younger. Puzzle piece right there. Michelle, yes, I cannot even look at a picture without getting of a snake without giving the shivers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Crash, I've never heard that joke before. I now know way too much about urinals. Well, okay, then let me tell you about a urinal trough. So I think it was Wrigley Field used to have, urinal, one person deal. You walk up, you got little walls, you do your business. They either go all the way to the floor or they're like just mounted on the wall. This was a trough. So picture literally a trough that you would see on a farm with running water at the bottom that went around in the circle and went down the drain. And you would just stand there, no dividers, no walls, no nothing, and just pee into the trough. So you now know what a urinal trough is as well. As Dorothy would say, final piece of the puzzle. There you go. See, that's why I don't tell people that. I'm sorry, Crash, but come on. No, I am not watching Snake Discovery. I'm sorry, Sarah Ann. Crash, did the horse break your other ear? Something's going on with the ear. Urinal cakes don't have anything over peeing on some ice. True. Chocolate diamonds. I'm not a fan of snakes. I wouldn't even drive by one on the road years ago. No, but it broke my pride pretty good. You know what? One of my favorite stories from working on the farm was they had a pony who was susceptible to what's like a cough? Is it the croup or something like that? Some type of cough thing. Well, the way it worked is every other week you went to one of these places that you people volunteered at, and you had a class where you'd watch a film or you'd do something. Well, the night before or the week before, Wednesday night, and I worked on Sundays, we learned how to give animals injections. And all I really remember is, you get the thing ready, and then if it's a big enough animal, you punch it, and then you stick it so that the animal doesn't get spooked by the sharp needle. You actually give them a little something beforehand so they don't freak out. Well, that Sunday, the pony started having an attack, and he's on the ground rolling around, and like, oh, he's got his whatever he's having. We have to give him medicine, and he needs to be walked for a half hour. So I went with the person who was getting the medicine together, and she goes, you learned how to do this, didn't you? I said, yeah. So I got to punch the pony, give him a shot, and I walked him around, and people were like, is he going to be okay? I'm like, he's fine because he has the shot from moi. I'm the healer. He will be fine. Let's see. Sorry, I was on a bike ride back in college in a huge path, slammed on the brakes. Huge snake was going across the path. I had to be 6 feet long, and the head wasn't anywhere near me. So I petted it. Oh, no. No, 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 no. That's bad. So what else? One thing that I took out of my suitcase at home was this box of pens that I'm going to be destashing. I brought them there to see if I could destash them there, but now I took them out because I'm like, I was too close to the weight, or maybe I was right over with this. So I took this out and whatnot. Oh, and then tell me if this is a good gift. You may have seen this somewhere already, but does anyone know what a fuggler is? Shay got people these fugglers. She sells them at the store that she works at. Okay, he's unfortunate looking. But why does he have like very human teeth that even feel like teeth? And then this little guy who's supposed to go in this pouch, he has a tooth. One tooth. Yeah, like why? Why? I probably could have brought this on the walk with me to scare away the snakes. So I come home and I put it on the side of Sammy's bed, and he immediately moves to the other side of the bed. He was even like, no. And I saw something today. I'm afraid of those Tifuses. Yes, they look like a creepy Ewok. So I sent something to Shay today. Let me see if I can share the screen. This came up on my Instagram. Where is it? It's this one. Why can't I share that? I'll just share this. It's not going to let me. So not going to let me do this at all. It's not letting me share. Anyway, I don't know why it's not letting me share. But it is a stone, like a blob of cement or something that has teeth in it. And someone found it in like a thrift store in Tennessee. So I sent it to Shay. I think I sent it to Melanie. I said, here is the first fuggler. It's the pet rock fuggler. Like, remember the pet rock? And probably a lot of us were kids. And it now has teeth and is a fuggler. Something else I want to tell you from the retreat. I got to meet Mary of Mary Mud, and Mary Making and More is her Etsy shop. Go check her out. She took a break from the community for a while, but she's back, and she does putty. She does cover minders, which some of my favorite cover minders from her. So this is her butt naked beach. Smells so good. And I've used some of her putties. Actually, she looked it up and she's like, yeah, you've bought from me before. totally didn't even realize. She's Make Goods Putty, but she also had, here's one of my favorite cover minders, Bianca Del Rio saying, "I'm surrounded by idiots." And if you don't know who Bianca Del Rio is, she's a drag queen that won RuPaul's Drag Race one year. And she's also a comedian, and she is hella funny. And I actually went to see her and meet her when she came to Chicago one time. And talk about almost dying from laughter, that was me. But something that Mary is doing is, if you go to her shop, you will see that there is a putty out there named after or inspired by or whatever Apollo, who is Anthony Single and Placing, his dog. So I have to have a Sammy putty, right? So she was nice enough. She asked me like what type of scents I like. So I told her, and she came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 different scents that she labeled only by letter. And Melanie and I sat there and sniffed them for at least 2 days, if not into the third day, and ended up that we liked 2 of them, but there were parts of each other that we didn't like. So Mary says, "You know what? Maybe it'll cancel each other out." So she takes pieces of each, she moves it together, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is good, but it still has a little too much of something." She takes a little bit of the other one, mix it together. So I present to you the prototype for Sammy's putty. It actually smells, Melly, I meant to tell you this, actually smells a little bit like dog shampoo, like coming home from the groomer. But hopefully Sammy will have his own putty out there soon, and I will let everybody know so you can go patronize Mary. She also has something else I'm very excited to try out. So y'all know the thing with static and the drills, and we do the dryer sheets, right? And then I've had some success with these nail pads or disposable makeup applicators that I cut up, and they sort of work. Well, Mary went on like a Mr. Wizard expedition, and she came up with Mary Magic anti-static sheets. And these are not dryer sheets. They are not the nail pad. They are a proprietary secret piece of cloth almost that is treated not only with scent. This one is unicorn burps. Not only with scent, but she actually treats it with anti-static stuff. So it's basically like if a dryer sheet and a nail pad had a baby, come out with this. I can't wait to try these. I did kit up a new kit last night because I think I posted in the Facebook group. I need a little like something different. I need a little inspiration. I'm sort of like in this slump of diamond painting. So I kitted something up last night to start, and it's going fine. I should have picked something with brighter colors, but nonetheless, I never wanted a kit to have static before more than I did last night. And damn it, if there was no static to be found. But I really want to try these, and as soon as I do, I'm going to do a video on them. But go check out some Mary Mud. Let's see. I missed that story. There was a story. Berta has a story. Sammy sent sample collection sniffing party. Yes. I think what we're going to call it, I think we originally came up with Sammy Spice, but part of me wants to see if we could change it to Sammy Noir, because it's fancier and he's black, right? And noir means dark, right? So yeah, maybe just owning those will make the static go away, kind of like insurance. If that's the case, everybody go get a pack. Also, Nancy, okay, I didn't post this on Facebook. So I don't know if everybody knows the story of the bluebirds. I'll catch you up if you didn't. I'll make it quick. So one night, I'm hanging out online with Berta, and there's a restock going through it, and Bluebird of Happiness was restocked on deck. And I said, I thought it was a painting that Berta was looking for. So I said, Berta, Bluebird of Happiness is in stock. Go get it. So she picks up her phone, proceeds to buy Bluebird of Happiness. About a half hour, 45 minutes later, she goes, why the hell did I buy that? I go, what do you mean? She goes, I don't want that painting. I said, I thought that was one you wanted. She goes, no. I go, so you just bought it because I told you to buy it? So it's a big laugh. Ha ha ha. So then I tease her lovingly, the way that I lovingly tease people. I tease her by the bluebird costume that one time that I wore. I have a blue shirt that's has a bird, like I think it's one of the Angry Birds, but I wear it. So and then I was looking for the Bluebirds of Happiness. If you've never seen them, they're like blue, cobalt blue glass things, and you give it to people. It's supposed to make them happy. They come with a card. So I thought, I want to go find something really annoying that's bluebirds and send it to Berta. So I found a pack of 30 small bluebirds to send to Berta, which I did. Which she promptly thought were seals. And you'll get that in a second. She said, who the hell is sending me 30 blue seals? Then she found the cards that came with it that said it's the Bluebird of Happiness. So she knew exactly who sent them to her. Well, Miss Nancy Royston, who lives in Texas, was going on an Alaskan cruise, and she wanted to see Berta. They wanted to meet and hang out, and they went and did things, and that's great. That's fantastic. Community bonding in person. I love it. Well, Berta gave her 27, oddly enough, of the bluebirds, and Nancy made it into a tray for me, complete with bluebirds sticking out their butts to like act as to sit the tray, resin tray of bluebirds. If it wasn't so sneaky and ingenious, I would have been a little angry about it, but this was amazing. So this now, I asked myself when I got home, I said, I always get these trays because, they say something or they match something at their event. I'm like, this is my tray. This is my bluebird tray made for me by Nancy. And I guess it made a mess because the bluebirds caused all sorts of havoc. But I have the one and only Bluebird of Happiness resin trays. So thank you, Nancy. And Nancy also, equally as important, gave me something that I can use in 3 weeks. But she gave me Icon of the Seas bar crawl checklist. I'm going on the Icon of the Seas. Nancy was just on the Icon of the Seas, or no, she was up in Alaska. She's been on Icon of the Seas. This is all of the bars on the ship. And it tells you what deck they're on. So I immediately took a picture of this and sent it to my cruise friend, cruise buddy, Lisa. And I said, look what I have. And she goes, I'm bringing the markers. We're going to check them off. And you made 2 slightly concerning amount of alcohol drinkers on a cruise very happy with these. So thank you for those. All right. So let's see what else. Gabrielle. Yeah. Berta, she acts so... Absolutely not. Regifting is very environmental. What was regifted? I forget. Oh, the bluebirds. True. I want to know where the other 3 went. And then I thought, now I need a pen. I need a Bluebird of Happiness pen. You are very special, Rich. Thank you, Joe. I'm going to take that in a positive way. I'm not special, then I'm special, right? Berta. Anyways, this smells so good. Okay, so let's see what else. I think that's all I have. And Crashly, more birds available. There's 3 left, right? There's 3 somewhere. I mean, we could always buy more, but 2. But Crashly's on it in 45 minutes. She's doing the second auction of the person who has the Room O diamond paintings. So make sure to check it out. There could be some unicorns, some rare ones out there, or even just ones that maybe you haven't been able to get your hands on yet, and you can maybe get it at a decent price. Besides the fact that auctions are just fun, like they're stupid fun, and let's go and let's check it out and let's have fun doing that. And plus it's for it's getting money for the person who's trying to clean up all these diamond paintings from someone who passed away and stuff like that. So Melanie says, so rough having geniuses for friends. I know. I think what is really unique is having friends who are pretty and funny and smart. The trifecta, the triumvirate, if you will. Melanie says, let's see, the birds will be a pen next. I would like to see that. Yeah. Melanie, I'm ready to buy another diamond painting I already have. Yes, Melanie has been playing me. Melanie will be played by me tonight, or Rich will be played by Melanie tonight. She's buying diamond paintings that she already has. And I did that. Well, I've done that a couple times. Once from an auction, I bid hard because I wanted this thing, Halloween Town from Dak. And I get it. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to put this on my shelf. And I go, putting it in, I go, this is the same painting that I bought at normal price. And this one I bid hard for. Whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Is he talking about me now? Crash. I wonder if any of the paintings are one I want. I don't know, Tammy. You'll have to see. So go check out Crashly and her auction. I'm working on, I'm going to get these pens up for sale for anybody who wants to check them out. I don't know if there'll be an auction or just a post. Post may be easier, but I do have about 45 diamond paintings that I need to destash. So I'm working on finalizing that list. And as soon as I am able to set up a date, which probably won't be till after my cruise, because I was thinking if I do it, then the part that is the worst part about doing that is now I have to pack up 45 paintings for shipping. And that takes a while. So I may set a date for when I get back from the cruise. But thank you, Crashly, for putting the link there to her live, which is at 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. Central, which is when she's going to be doing the auction. Maybe doing cross stitch will help reset your diamond painting mojo. I hope so. That would be good. Eve, it's in 40 minutes, wherever you're at. I don't know what time. Where are you at again? Do they have clocks there? I don't know. It's in 40 minutes. Thank you, Doretta. I try to be entertaining. Anything to bring a little smile to people's laughs, to people's faces in times that we all need some laughter. I'll just put it that way, regardless of what your thoughts and affiliations are. So, but anyway, so I'm gonna get going. Sammy is already stalking me for dinner, even though it's way too early for his dinner. So I'm gonna go have to talk him down off the wall. But tune into Crashly 40 minutes from now. Link is in the thing there. I will, I'm trying to think what videos I can get put up throughout the week. I don't have anything solidified, so I can't tell you anything, but you'll see it when I post it. 3 weeks from now will be, I get on the ship Saturday, I'll be a Sunday. I can try and do a live. We'll see how the Wi-Fi is, but I can come to you straight from Icon of the Seas. If the Wi-Fi isn't good, then I may wait until we're in port one day and do a pop-up live, or just I'll be videoing stuff periodically, take you around the ship and stuff, and I'll post a whole video out there. So just watch the community tab, watch the Speaking of Diamonds Facebook page. If you're not a member of this Facebook page, go over, look for that. Speaking of Diamonds on Facebook, I post what we're doing, what's going on there. It's a little bit easier to find sometimes than the community page in YouTube. It gives you alerts and stuff like that. So yeah, please hit that like button. If you are if you're watching the replay, hello. Hope you enjoyed. Please hit the thumbs up. Comment down below, at least with a hashtag or some type of emoji of what you're doing. And I will talk to everybody a little bit later. And just remember, there's no right or wrong way to diamond paint, so you do you. Have a good rest of your Sunday, everyone, and have a good week. Bye-bye.